Antique dealer Elvira Vance specialized in the macabre, her cramp, yet velvet, drip shop obscura, smells of dust camphor, and secrets. The piece that arrived in a plain pine box, postmarked from Vienna, stopped her breath. A music box unlike any other, 18 inches tall. It was crafted from obsidian black wood inlaid with mother-of-pearl constellations atop it. Frozen in an impossible arabesque stood the porcelain ballerina. Her face was exquisitely detailed, eyes half-lidded, lips parted in silent concentration. One delicate hand pointed skyward, the other curved protectively near her heart. The mechanism inside, visible through a glass panel, was a labyrinth of minuscule brass gears, springs, and tiny silver tuning forks instead of a comb. The accompanying note, brittle with age, read only for the curious, wind with care. Elvira wound the intricate key. The mechanism whirred to life with a sound like tiny, precise clockwork. The ballerina didn't spin. Instead, her limbs began to move with uncanny, fluid grace. Her pointed foot extended, her arms flowed through positions, her head tilted with heartbreaking expressiveness. It wasn't a simple rotation. It was a miniature ballet, complex and mournful. The music wasn't tinkling bells, but a haunting, resonant hum generated by the vibrating tuning. It felt a key as a melody of profound sorrow and yearning that filled the shop, making the glassware shiver as the figure moved. Elvira swore the ballerina's porcelain eyes flickered towards her. That night Elvira woke to the music. It drifted from the shop below. The same mournful hum, impossible. She wandered down. She descended the creaking stairs, flashlight beam cutting through the dark. The music box sat inert on its display stand, yet it vibrated with the phantom melody, and it was colder near the box, a deep, bone-aching chill. As she approached, the ballerina's head turned just a fraction, her painted eyes seeming to track the flashlight beam. Elvira froze, a faint scent, like old roses and uncertain, touched the air. The next day, the movements began. Elvira would find small objects suddenly displaced, a pen lying where she hadn't left it, a book tilted on a shelf. Once, a delicate cameo necklace lay coiled precisely on the music box space. Then came the touches, brief, icy caresses on the back of her neck when she was alone in the shop. The phantom scent of roses grew stronger, often accompanied by a wave of crushing melancholy that made Elvira, yes, as well with unexplained taste. The music played more frequently, always when Elvira was near the box. Even unwarned, the ballerina's movements became suddenly more frantic during these phantom performances. Her arabesque seemed strained, her silent expression shifting towards desperation. Elvira research, Yanxian. Dusty archives revealed a tragic footnote. Aurelia Jabor, a prodigy ballerina with the Vienna State Opera in the 1890s, renowned for her ethereal grace and technical perfection. She vanished at the height of her career. Rumors were led, a scandalous affair, a breakdown, a mysterious illness. Her final non-past session was Onique music box, commissioned by an unknown admirer, said to capture her essence. Elvira understood. Aurelia was empty in the box. Her obsession, her desperate need to perform, her unfulfilled potential. It had been bound. True, the clockwork wasn't just playing a tune. It was channeling the ghost of her ambition, her sorrow, her trapped artistry. Every wind up forced her to relive her passion and her loss. The phantom touches, Jansu's restless energy, leaking out the displaced objects, unconscious manipulations by a spirit trying to communicate, to be seen beyond the glass. The haunting intensified. Elvira woke with breezes like faint fingerprints on her wrist, cold and aching. One morning, she found a perfect frost-rimmed rose petal on her pillow. The phantom melody not echo, yet in her dreams, a beautiful, inescapable prison of sound. Aurelia's porcelain face, glimpsed from the corner of her eye, no longer held concentration. It held silent pleading. Elvira knew winding it again was torture, but leaving it inert felt like suffocating Aurelia. All over again, she examined the mechanism through the glass. Tiny, almost invisible fractures spider web at the porcelain ballerina's limbs. The movement was suddenly jerky, now painful to watch. Aurelia was breaking, trapped in an eternal, imperfect performance. The solution came not from God's law, but from mechanics. The music box was undaunted. It was broken, its purpose to perfectly capture and replay Aurelia's art was full-ed. The mechanism couldn't sustain the bound spirit. It was degrading, and she was degrading with it, free. In her meant not destroying the box, but fixing it, completing its purpose. Alara wasn't a watchmaker, but she was meticulous, using magnifying lenses and micro tools. She spent painstaking hours working through the access panel. She repaired fractured gears, realigned bent springs, polished the silver tuning forks until they gleamed. She treated it like restoring a masterpiece, pouring reverence into every touch. As she worked, the phantom cold intensified. The scent of roses became almost overwhelming, and she felt a palpable, anxious presence leaning over her shoulder, breath like frost on her neck. The porcelain ballerina she made to follow her every move. Finally it was done. With trembling hands, Alara inserted the key. She hesitated, looking at the ballerina's face. For you, Aurelia, she whispered. One last, perfect performance. She turned the key. The mechanism whirred, smoother, deeper, more resonant than ever before. The tuning forks hummed, weaving a melody of breathtaking beauty that held both profound sorrow and soaring joy. The ballerina moved. It was transcendent, fluid, powerful, expressive beyond anything Elira had witnessed. Aurelia danced not just with her limbs, but with her soul poured into the porcelain. She leaped, she spun. She held poses of impossible balance and emotion. The air crackled, the glass panel frosted over, then cleared. The phantom cold vanished, replaced by a radiant warmth each emanating from the box. The scent of roses bloomed, fresh and sweet. Tears streamed down Alara's face. The dance built to a climax. Aurelia soared into a final, breathtaking ground, suspended for an impossible second. Then, gently, gracefully, she descended. Her limbs flowed back into her starting arabesque. The music softened, yet resolved into a single, pure sustain note that hung in the air like a sigh of perfect contentment. Quick, the mechanism stopped. The hum faded. The warmth each lingered, then gently dissipated. The scent of roses remained, soft and comforting. The ballerina stood poised, perfect, serene. The desperate energy, the melancholy, the icy touches, gone. Elira touch at the obsidian wood. It was warm, alive with the memory of the dance. But in her, the fractures in the porcelain were gone. Aurelia's painted eyes gazed peacefully into the distance. Finally at rest, she had danced her last perfect dance. The box had fulfilled its purpose. The obsession, the trapped artistry was released. Obscura is quiet now. The music box remains its centerpiece, a masterpiece of craft and a vessel of a fulfilled promise. It never plays on its own, but sometimes, on still afternoons when the light lands just right through the dusty window, customers swear they see the porcelain ballerina slips curve, ever so slightly, into a smile of perfect peace. And Alara, dusting nearby, always feels a faint warm breath of roses brush her cheek. Not a play, a thank you.